Tuesday, June 20th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a kayaker's body found yesterday, a missing hiker, and a Ridgefield teen getting a big surprise on live TV this morning. Frank Rito joins us with a look at your forecast and an Up Mix Sports update, and Donald Lang will take a look back on this day in history. But first, the body of a man who was reported missing from a kayak launched into Long Island Sound was recovered on Monday afternoon by Stratford firefighters. Detectives from the Suffolk County, New York Police Homicide Squad said the body of 41-year-old Gregory Blanco of Comac, New York, was discovered in the Sound yesterday afternoon. Suffolk County Police said someone on a ferry running between Bridgeport and Port Jefferson discovered Blanco's body floating in the water at about 2 p.m., roughly 3 miles north of Belterre, New York. Stratford firefighters responded and recovered Blanco's body, which was transported to the Port Jefferson Marina in Brookhaven, New York. Police said Blanco had launched from a kayak in Northport, New York on Monday. Police said Blanco was pronounced dead by a physician's assistant with the Suffolk County Medical Examiner's Office. That office will also perform an autopsy to determine the cause of death. You can look for updates at stratfordstar.com. And in other news, friends and acquaintances of a Greenwich High School junior, were shocked and saddened by his death over the weekend at a Coscob train station. His name is not being released pending official announcement. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that authorities said that Greenwich High student was struck and killed by a Metro North train just after midnight on Sunday near the Coscob station. Greenwich police, firefighters, and EMS responded to that incident at 12:05 a.m. The investigation by MTA Authority Police is ongoing. And a search is underway for a missing hiker in Farrington Woods in Danbury. Now, Danbury Mayor Mark Boughton tweeted at 9:30 this morning that there is an ongoing situation with a missing hiker in that area. A person who went hiking Monday has not returned home, according to the mayor. Farrington Woods is a 192-acre recreation area on Mill Plain Road. We'll keep you updated on the latest. And in other news, a 4-year-old girl was uninjured Sunday afternoon when she fell between the platform and the train at the Milford train station. Fire Battalion Chief Anthony Fabrizi said that accident took place at about 4 in the afternoon when the child and her mother were boarding a train. She was lowered to the ground by her mother and then assisted back to the platform, Fabrizi said. Milford firefighters evaluated the child and thankfully found no injuries. Well, as investigation into a June 5th Ridgefield shooting where a homeowner may have fired gunshots at someone attempting to steal a car continues, questions around the use of deadly force have been coming up. Now, deadly force is legal in Connecticut when used by people who reasonably believe they are acting to protect a threatened life, defend against a threat of great bodily harm, or to ward off attempted break-in at their home or workplace. That's the core of relevant state statutes as supported by interviews with state and local officials. Now, gunshots were reported on Holder Lane in Ridgefield at about 3 a.m. June 5th. A 15-year-old girl later turned up with a gunshot wound in her back at a hospital in Waterbury, and Waterbury police pursued and eventually rammed a stolen car with a 19-year-old and 3 minors in it. Ridgefield police say they suspected that the people involved in that shooting may have taken part in previous incidents of larcenies from motor vehicles and stolen motor vehicles. Police have not said how many shots were fired or whether they believe that there was an exchange of gunfire or just one person shooting. Now, no arrest has been made in Ridgefield yet, but you can get updates on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And in other news, a Connecticut woman is facing multiple charges after police say she drove 25 miles per hour on Interstate 95 while under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The Day reports that 56-year-old woman has been charged with driving too slowly, as well as driving under the influence and failure to drive in the proper lane in Old Saybrook. Police say a state trooper doing speed enforcement saw the woman driving over the Baldwin Bridge last Thursday night with traffic backed up behind her. That bridge has a posted 65-mile-per-hour speed limit. The trooper pulled the woman over, and police say she failed field sobriety tests. She's scheduled to appear in court on June 27th. And in Darien, a 31-year-old Norwalk resident reported his wallet stolen to police after leaving it on the counter at Whole Foods on June 5th. Now, the victim told police he immediately returned to the counter once he realized he had left the wallet but could not find it. And store surveillance showed a person picking up the wallet just after 7 p.m. and leaving shortly thereafter. The suspect was described as a white man of average height and build, wearing light blue or khaki shorts as well as black sneakers and a hooded sweatshirt with green and white stripes over a black t-shirt. concert. He was accompanied by a white woman with dark hair who police say was wearing blue pants, a black jacket, black shoes, and carrying a large black purse. The suspect did purchase items with cash at the register before leaving the store. You can get more at Darien-Times.com. And a Ridgefield teen got a big surprise on this morning's Today Show on NBC. Samantha Watts appeared on the show Tuesday morning with Hoda Kotb as a finalist for a college scholarship. Well, Samantha said she's attending Ithaca, and as her father is recovering from cancer, money has been tight in the family. Well, Samantha was surprised as the winner of a $100,000 scholarship with a check that happened to be presented to her by Will Ferrell, who was a guest on the show. An emotional Samantha and her parents hugged on air after the announcement. And the Ridgefield Press is going to be talking to Samantha about the experience, so you can look for more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. Well, let's switch gears now. Throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And it's much less humid out today now after storms last night have broken through the heat wave from this past weekend. We're looking at variable cloudiness throughout the afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to high 80s. Humidity levels will continue to drop later on in the day, and conditions will be very comfortable this evening and overnight with partly cloudy skies and a low of 65 as we head into Wednesday. Partly cloudy around Fairfield County again tomorrow with temperatures right back into the mid 80s. Breezy out with wind gusts between 15 to 18 miles per hour for most of the day, and not as humid again with only 50% humidity carrying through tomorrow evening. Cool and clear again overnight, temperatures in the mid 60s before what should be another sun-filled Thursday, and a lot of the same on Thursday. Less humid during the day, a high of 82, a mix of sun and clouds. There will be increasing cloud cover later on in the evening, and on Thursday night, humidity levels are back on the rise, bringing along a couple passing showers and possibly a thunderstorm or two before Friday morning. That's going to do it for the weather. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Donald Engel will take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and there's more local news after this. Spring has sprung at Walter Stewart's Market, and we're celebrating the new season with fresh takes on spring. From the finest produce around to guaranteed fresh seafood delivered daily by the best local supplier. Not only are we your time-saving one-stop shop for everything you need this season, our personable team is always ready with a helping hand. Shop Stewart's for the best of spring. Find us at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
The new fishing season is fast approaching, so it's time to head over to the dock shop and get your gear in order. We're now offering bait in both Darien and our Westport location. The dock shop can service and repair your rods and reels, spool up new line, and fill any empty space you might have in your tackle box. Whether you're a fisherman, boater, or beach bum, the dock shop is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Did you know heart attacks and strokes are the leading cause of death in America? Protect the health of you and your loved ones. Talk to a doctor about heart disease. Hi, I'm Dr. David Pazer with ProHealth Physicians, encouraging you to stay informed about health matters that affect you.
ProHealth Physicians is on the pulse of social media to share information about health and nutrition with the community. Get up-to-the-minute alerts, including ProHealth Physicians news and upcoming events. Connecticut's leading group of primary care doctors is just a click away.
I can't believe it.
Well, Dad, you did it. You sold 160 cars. Ready to go back upstairs now?
I think it's time. I wonder how the boys are making out in their new office. Not what I had in mind, Kyle. What, Dad?
Maybe we should retire. Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue S for only $139 a month. Isn't it time you got Millerized?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network, and We've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this June 20th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. It's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Kate, I just realized I inadvertently went with a bit of a theme here, but we're going to start in 1893. Lizzie Borden acquitted of the axe murders of her parents. Borden gave conflicting accounts of her whereabouts during the killings, and police said she seemed unusually calm and detached as she described finding her parents' corpses. A few days after the killings, a friend reported Borden had cut up and burned one of her favorite dresses, claiming she had gotten paint on it. After her acquittal, she remained in her hometown of Fall River, Mass. until her death 34 years later. She left the bulk of her estate, about $550,000 worth, to the Fall River Animal Rescue League. By the way, the nursery rhyme is wrong. Her mother was struck 18 times, her father 11. Speaking of gruesome killings, 1947, gangster Bugsy Siegel shot to death at his girlfriend's Beverly Hills home. Siegel was a former New York City street thug who became something of a Hollywood celebrity gangster. Think John Gotti. And it was Siegel who saw the potential in the desert town of Las Vegas, which had really nothing going for it at all, except for some lax local gaming laws. He opened the Flamingo Hotel with $6 million of mob money and was murdered over its lack of profitability, ironically, even before ordering the hit. His killers would admit that Siegel was right about Vegas all along. Today, 18 of the 20 largest hotels in the U.S. are in Las Vegas. And again, speaking of bloody killings, 1975, Jaws released, becoming the highest grossing film of all time and starting the trend of the summer blockbuster. If you haven't read the book, you should. I know, everyone always says the book is better, but despite its fairly primitive prose, the novel contains a number of plot lines that the movie eliminates, including a love scene that Benchley rewrote because the publisher declared it too wholesome. And also, not all the same folks survive. Finally, now we go to 1963 in an attempt to avoid bloodshed. Look at this.
The Washington-Moscow Hotline, a safeguard against hot heads in the Cold War, is installed in the Pentagon. Simultaneously, the other end of the teletyping circuit is being hooked up in the Kremlin. This direct communication between the Soviet and American governments is designed to curtail misunderstanding and miscalculation that might touch off a nuclear war. Originally, it was popularly conceived as a telephone line, but the printing makes for more clarity and puts the conversation on the record.
In an effort to avoid confusion, the U.S. and Soviet Union agree to install a hotline between the two countries. The first message from the Americans, by the way, was the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog's back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. The Soviets responded with a poem describing Moscow at sunset. The first official use of the hotline was to inform the Russians that JFK had been assassinated. The most recent use, Halloween of 2016, when the Pentagon warned the Kremlin that any interference in the U.S. election would be considered a most grave matter. That is your look back in history for today, June 20th, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other news, Connecticut's Board of Physicians met on Wednesday, June 7th, to discuss 5 petitions to add new conditions to the state's medical marijuana program. Well, the board took votes and made recommendations to the commissioner, and the board's recommendations include adding hydrocephalus with intractable headache, intractable migraines, and trigeminal neuralgia to the conditions approved for use of medical marijuana. Now, after DCP drafts a regulation to add the conditions, there will be an additional public hearing and comment period. The regulation will then be reviewed by the Office of the Attorney General and ultimately require the approval of the Regulation Review Committee of the General Assembly. Now, the board did not recommend adding anxiety disorders or Meniere's disease to the state's system. Well, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And let's start with some swimming news as Ridgefield Aquatic Club swimmers AJ Bornstein and Kieran Smith, both rising seniors at Ridgefield High, will be competing at the upcoming USA Swimming Phillips 66 Nationals and World Championship Trials. Bornstein has qualified to compete in the 100 and 200 breaststroke, while Smith has qualified to compete in the 200 and 400 individual medley, the 200 backstroke, and the 400, 800, and 1500 freestyle. Both men were winners during the FCX season this winter for the Ridgefield swim team. In other news around the county, former New Canaan boys golf captain Justin Clark shot a 1/73 to begin play in the 115th Connecticut Amateur Golf Championship Monday at Toshua Knolls Golf Course in Trumbull. Clark finished the first round in tie for 18th place and will tee off today at 8:20 this morning. The top 32 golfers after the first two rounds will advance on to match play starting tomorrow. Clark recently completed his freshman year at Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, where he was a member of the Horned Frogs men's golf team. The young man had 5 birdies and 8 pars on his way to a 1-over 73. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update, but we've got plenty more on both these stories and a lot of action going on around the county coming up at 2 o'clock on Nutmeg Sports with myself and Kevin Coleman. Let's go back over to Kate for more news, though.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, in Ridgefield, a Route 7 traffic detour accommodating a bridge reconstruction project in Branchville by sending all Route 7 traffic through the center of Ridgefield is scheduled to return this weekend. That's Friday, June 23rd through Sunday, June 25th. Now, last weekend's closure was the first of 5 on Route 7 to accommodate work on the bridge, which allows the Norwalk River to flow under the state highway just north of the intersection of Route 102. Now, businesses in Ridgefield didn't have any choice but to cope with it last week. Wilson Ferrero, manager of the Village Tavern on Main Street, told the Board of Selectmen recently that it made a huge difference in business because the accessibility was very limited. He said normally Saturdays for lunch are quite busy, but because of the gridlock and bumper-to-bumper and detour, people didn't know how to get here, and local people didn't bother to come in. But you can get more on that at theridgefieldpress.com. Well, one second. Sorry. Monroe celebrated its 46th annual Strawberry Festival at the Monroe Green over the weekend. The Monroe Congregational Church hosted the event, which was jam-packed with local crafters, live music, and strawberry-related treats. Now, even some spotty weather couldn't stop the annual event, and Monroe Courier editor Tina Marie Craven was there capturing some of the scenes. You can see a lot more at monroecourier.com. And thanks again to her for that video. We are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Skep Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, skepchryslerjeep.com or skepdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Drive and Discover event. Now through June 30th.
You don't have to go far for authentic Neapolitan cuisine and renowned wood-fire pizza. Pizzeria Loretano of Bethel is a contemporary Italian bistro specializing in authentic wood-fired brick-oven pizza Napolitana. Pizzeria Loretano was named one of America's top 1,000 Italian restaurants in 2008 by Zagat and recommended by Jane and Michael Stern on National Public Radio's Splendid Table. Located close to the Bethel Cinema, we focus on quality and our food is always made to order. Join us for live jazz Sundays from 6 to 8. Find our schedule, menu, and more at pizzerialoretano.com and like us on Facebook.
Family and Children's Aid has been serving the community since 1809 and is now the largest outpatient children's mental health care provider in Western Connecticut. Our innovative services include providing shelter to homeless moms and children, substance abuse intervention, mental health counseling, and foster and adoptive services, among others. Our goal is to provide individuals and families a safe haven and hope for a brighter future. Find out more about us at fcaweb.org and call our Danbury campus at 203-748-5689. A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with the Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, Airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. The body of a man who was reported missing from a kayak launched into Long Island Sound was recovered on Monday afternoon by Stratford firefighters. Now, detectives from the Suffolk County, New York Police Homicide Squad said the body of 41-year-old Gregory Blanco of Comac, New York, was discovered in the Sound yesterday afternoon. Suffolk County Police said someone on a ferry that was running between Bridgeport and Port Jefferson, New York, discovered Blanco's body floating in the water at about 2 p.m., roughly 3 miles north of Belle Terre, New York. Stratford firefighters responded and recovered Blanco's body, which was transported to the Port Jefferson Marina in Brookhaven. Police said Blanco had launched a kayak from Northport, New York on Monday. Police said Blanco was pronounced dead by a physician's assistant with the Suffolk County Medical Examiner's Office, and that office will be performing an autopsy to determine the cause of death. You can look for updates at stratfordstar.com. And in other news, friends and acquaintances of a Greenwich High School junior were shocked and saddened by his death over the weekend at the Coscob train station. His name is not being released pending official announcement, but Hearst, Connecticut media reports authorities said the student was struck and killed by a Metro North train just after midnight on Sunday near the Coscob train station. Greenwich police, firefighters, and EMS responded to that incident about 12:05 a.m. The investigation by MTA police is ongoing. And a search is underway for a missing hiker in Farrington Woods in Danbury. Danbury Mayor Mark Boughton tweeted at about 9:30 this morning that there is an ongoing situation with a missing hiker in that area. A person who went hiking Monday had not returned home, according to the mayor. Well, Farrington Woods is a 192-acre recreational area on Mill Plain Road in Danbury. And a 4-year-old girl was uninjured Sunday afternoon when she fell between the platform and the train at the Milford train station. Fire Battalion Chief Anthony Fabrizi said that accident took place at about 4 in the afternoon when the child and her mother were boarding the train. She was lowered to the ground by her mother and then assisted back to the platform, Fabrizi said. Milford firefighters then evaluated the child and found no injuries. Well, in some exciting news, Ridgefielder Samantha Watts was given the gift of a lifetime on the Today Show this morning when it was announced that she had been selected as the recipient of a $100,000 scholarship. That scholarship was part of the house tuition contest created by the Today Show and its sponsor, Warner Brothers, named for the upcoming movie The House. Well, the film's main star, Will Ferrell, presented Watts with the $100,000 check as her family and surrounding New Yorkers cheered around them. Watts, who's a student at Ithaca College, has dreams of becoming a speech pathologist focused on education, which means she needs to finish her undergraduate degree and attend graduate school. However, her father is currently recovering from esophageal cancer, and most of the family's money has gone towards his treatment. Well, according to a story in the Ridgefield Press, that scholarship competition was simple. She wrote in about why she would deserve money for a college education. She was selected from around 2,000 submissions. But there's a lot more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. Let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for one final look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And again, we're looking at mostly sunny skies right now and far less humid than we've seen the past couple of days. Variable cloudiness is expected through the afternoon. We'll see temperatures in the mid to high 80s. Humidity levels will continue to drop later on during the day, and conditions very comfortable in this evening and overnight with partly cloudy skies and a low of 65 heading into Wednesday. Partly cloudy again tomorrow. Temperatures right back in the mid 80s. Breezy out. We're going to see wind gusts between 15 to 18 miles per hour during the day and not as humid again. Cool and clear overnight. Temperatures in the mid 60s before what should be another sun-filled Thursday. And a lot of the same on Thursday. Less humidity. Temperatures in the mid 80s with a mix of sun and clouds. There will be some increasing cloud cover later on in the day, though. Humidity levels will be on the rise in the late evening and overnight. We could see a couple passing showers and possibly a scattered thunderstorm or two before Friday, but the sun should be back out Friday as we get the weekend kicked off. That's going to do it for the weather. We'll see you this afternoon for Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. That's right, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock, The Drive with Denise at 12:30, and we'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.